Hello enchanted ones and welcome back. Today join me in creating the ultimate fairy altar consisting of a fairy garden, a miniature Glastonbury shrine and fairy altar, and in doing so decorating it for Beltane. Let's also have a magical bluebell walk within the woods and craft with pure nature. I hope you enjoy, so sit back, relax and keep on watching. Hello enchanted ones and welcome, a blessed Beltane to you all. Oh my gosh, look at this, look at this. Am I in heaven? So I'm here on Fairies Island today because I'm going to gather a few things. As you saw, we are creating my fairy altar today in the garden. So this is part 2 of the series, but it's kind of like Beltane spring themed because perfect timing. So this video actually started at the weekend. I just kind of potted about a little bit, doing odds and ends, and there was one thing I didn't create in the last video that I put together, and safe to say that it's the perfect basis for my fairy altar. So let's see where we left off. I first completely gutted and repainted this little corner of my garden to become the fairy altar. Prepared for planting the fairy garden, prepared the herbs and the altar and the fairy bug bookcase. And now it needed to be filled as it was looking a little bare and needed some magic. So I got this flat pack, trough, arch type situation and I began putting it together. I wanted this to become the main focal point of the altar and perhaps become a shrine where I'd put offerings, perhaps a fairy home and decorate it for the seasons. I've always been drawn to arches, mainly as they are curious. They're a gateway to another place and time, and I love how nature creates natural arches, and I always find fairy homes within these and feel a strong energy there. Baby. So to incorporate them in a more formal way like this trough seems like it would be quite appealing for the fae. Later on that day, I stained the wood a darker, more rustic brown. And of course, all of my paintbrushes have dried up as I forgot to clean them. So I was using the tiniest little brush. My wrist hurt, but it turned out pretty good. How cute. My plans for what plant is going to be climbing up the trellis is, well, I'm a little bit embarrassed to say the word again, but it's this fairy tale trailing whimsical stuff. You know the plant that I've been repotting from this broken trough. So the wrestle was on as I tried to untangle this beast of a plant. Ivy, despite rumours I've heard through the grapevine, is not a parasite, okay? In fact, in a balanced environment, ivy supports trees and insects from wind and harsh weather conditions. It's protective. Of course, the old witch's house down the road is covered with it, and it can be used as washing up liquid or laundry detergent. Just make sure it's English ivy and you won't have a problem. So it already looks magical, but enchanted ones, we've only just begun. But now back to the woods, and it's time for a magical bluebell walk to gain some inspiration. So I'm here to gather some things because this arch that I've created, I didn't really expect this, but it's created more bare space that you just think, oh, that needs to be filled with something. So I have an idea of creating all natural things, different things to lure the fairies in, help them transfer through realms. So different portals, and wreaths are the first thing that came to mind. Also mirrors, also spirals. What we're going to do is gather some honeysuckle and anything that stands out to us, see what we can create with it later on. Fairies Island's only like a brekkie stop today, so thank you. We're going to also head now to the motherland, or the bluebell patch. Maybe we should go to the bluebell patch first. That's just over there across the river. To get down to the bluebell patch, I hop over the trickling little stream and a few twists, turns, under and overs, then down to the path of Avalon, and I'm here. Okay, I'm here at the bluebell patch. So many white bluebells around here. They're always in the same spot. They always come back every year as the same. And I feel like there's like 50 white bluebells here when there should be 1 in 10,000. How is that possible? Fairies makes that possible, I tell you that. And I'll tell you what's been standing out to me lately, and I'm not sure why, but I've been collecting them anyway. It's these little half hazelnuts shells, and they keep standing out everywhere I go, and I feel like there's a sign there. It could be a fairy bowl, a fairy teacup. I could have a good time crafting some fairy furniture from these, I think. Hazelnuts carry ancient wisdom and are said to bring the collector of them protection against evil spirits lurking within Woodland. There's some there. Little bowl, a whole one there, half one there. Can you see them all? It looks just so fairy tale there. I just love them. I can imagine fairies sitting within these empty shells, using them as little boats gliding down streams and miniature waterfalls. I just kept finding more and more, so I took it as a sign. Thank you, fairies. Thank you, nature. I also found this silver birch bark, perhaps to use as natural paper at the fairy altar. What's that? Look at that! Look at this little seedling. Oh, I love that. Ooh, my little hazelnut cups. I love these so much. Where we're going to go next is the motherland, and I'm going to share with you an update there, but also there's lots of honeysuckle, so we're going to gather that. So I left here and walked by the fairy elder door, collecting more hazel cones, of course, and then stumbled into the motherland, where the stitchwort is now in abundance. But first, let's go to the bluebell borders. I've quickly stopped at the bluebell borders, and I'm here just to share with you that this is a bluebell patch that is outlined with trees, and I like that idea. And I might bring it into my garden. Not this as a whole, but the idea, okay? The idea is there. Mind if I take a little bit of you for a little magical wreath? Can I do that, please? Can I do that? Is that all right? Lovely honeysuckle, thank you so much. All right. Oh. Okay, now, so there's one more place I want to go to, and that's where we're going to create our wreath. Now, I went back to the path to Avalon, and then into Avalon, my sacred hidden spot. Right. One bit, not all of these please. I'm going to grab my honeysuckle, nice long bit. I'm going to make a circle from it, intertwining it together like that, and then continue to wrap it round. You have like a sturdy base. Can soak them if they're dry, and then that helps, but because they're just picked, probably easier to just do it like this now. In the forest, some forest crafting. Got my shape, love that. Hang on. Aww. Oh, it could be a necklace too, couldn't it? Oh, love that, love that. Okay, now I'm just going to add more and more honeysuckle and build this guy up. You can take these off, but I love how these kind of add to it, the green. So with all this chat about portals from the fairy realm, let's also chat about what the fairy realm could be like. Tales have been told of a land either in a different solar system, in a different frequency, or some say it's even on the moon. Time acts differently there and doesn't affect fairies like it does humans. Within this fairy realm live all different types of fairies, and they live together, sometimes causing chaos as they aren't afraid to use their magic there. The sky and the lands are interchangeable. Perhaps one day you'll see hills, and the next in the same spot a red mist, and the next a fairy castle. Time and space work differently and are interchangeable. Okay, so I love this wreath, but now I'm going to make a miniature wreath, because why not? Another miniature wreath. There's another one there too. So yeah, these just need to dry now, I think, and then they're going to make perfect little wreaths at the altar, completely natural wreaths, and they last, and they're so sturdy. Anyway, let's get back home. What a glorious morning this has been. I don't even know what the time is. I'm like, I'm not in the fairy realm and I've been just lost in this kingdom, because it's meant to be cloudy this morning, so I'm so happy that the sun's come out and blessed us this morning. So let's go back home and see what we can do to this fairy altar. Oh yeah. What's the time? Oh, okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Back on Fairies Island, I'm going to leave this little wreath here because I want it to be a portal for the fairies to enter my garden. There it is. You enjoy. Bye. Okay, so to be able to work at the end of the garden, I think I need to put something up, because like the sun is full here, and like I said, speckled shade is what we need. I wedged this large silver birch stick in between the tree and the bricks. This was surprisingly sturdy, and I could even do a few fairy pull-ups. Then, using this cheesecloth, I wrapped it around the birch, securing it in place in the middle to create a whimsical, flowing feeling. Okay, I haven't attached it because I thought I could just like move it along when I need shade. Oh, that is so much better because it's swaying in the wind. Oh, magical. Okay, so what the plan is for today is to make over all these little bits and bobs that what's that? I've got lots of little bits and bobs that I need to make over to put in this area, and the whole garden if I'm honest. So I've done my wreaths now. I'm going to make this a little bit more fancy because I have got lots of ribbon that I thought that we could hang from the wreaths. Different kind of pastel colours to symbolise the sensitivity of this time of year in spring, but also just give it some like flow and beautiful movement. This guy is a little bit, needs a touch up, so we're going to do that. This is very exciting. So in this basket is the cutest little toadstools that Ben has whittled, and this is his like new passion in life, whittling. So cute, some of them so cute. Quite tall ones too. So yeah, loads of those in there, which I'm going to stain first and treat because I want them to last for as long as possible in this garden. I've got this, which I need to make over, but also I've got things that are prepared and ready to move into this space, and one of them is this beautiful wreath, all made from natural materials, no glue on it whatsoever. Got some whittled wand sticks, a little fairy home. I actually made this over because it looked like what my Patreons call, it looked like a Smurf house, but now it is just the cutest little thing. Green makes everything better. I had this little okie dokie house too. This was shining on me a minute ago. I have mirrors. Now this is exactly what any fairy garden needs. As well as wreaths, as well as arches, mirrors are portals. I started by getting the idea of everything's placement here. The star wreath would be hung from the trellis, and perhaps the honeysuckle wreaths upon the wall. I also used another wreath I made a few months prior and decided to create one more miniature wreath from the leftover honeysuckle because I needed a power of 3. That is the best idea. Cute. So here's one I made about 6 months ago, and as you can see they dry with the little green speckles in them, so it's quite nice to keep those leaves in, like I said. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, but it needs some mirrors. Fairies love anything shiny, holographic, glass and mirrors, because these objects tamper with the elements and light, causing light to reflect and refract, and in other words, can help them to create a portal to switch in between the Fae realm and the human realm. Here I am making these sweet little trailing mirrors by sticking them back to back upon a piece of ribbon. The easiest, most rewarding DIY I've ever made. I really want to create 2 structures of mirrors for either side of the arch. As well, there's nothing more powerful than when a mirror meets the reflection of another mirror. These are only small though, not dramatic sizes, so hopefully only a wee fae could pop through, I'm sure. And at this point, the light had totally changed within the fairy corner. Okay, I love it, but can't believe I'm saying this, it needs some colour. Green and yellow. Okay, that's as much colour as it's getting for now. Okay. I think I do need to paint something on here though. I don't know, some sort of portal enclosure. I don't know, but we'll see how it develops. I made more of the door wreath that I'm going to put on the gateway to the garden, and did a similar thing to the other wreaths, but this time added a little fairy bell to ring every time I gain access to the garden, perhaps as a little fairy warning so they can hide away. Actually surprisingly comfortable down here. I'm just using the cushion from my egg chair, and I like it. I like sitting like a little hobbit. I think it's quite good for my posture actually. Next it was time to repaint the mushroom, making it look more put together again, but still magical and mossy and whimsical. And next onto the mushrooms. Staining first the bottoms and then the tops, leaving them to dry in the sun. It's like a muffin. Is that a little muffin? Chocolate muffin? It's funny how in history, enticing fairies with miniature fairy furniture wasn't really a thing. When it came to the Fae, It's more of a modern approach to communicating with them. In the past, households and farmers would try to repel the fae as they were seen as trouble, stealing the milk or stealing babies. But from my perspective, fae are attracted to goodwill and a green heart. And woodland fairies are always very kind. I keep staring at this and I keep thinking it just needs something else. It needs something to bring it in. I don't know, the back, it just needs paint maybe some gradiency. Salmon needs to be done there, and I've got an idea. So I took out my trusty green paint and started with some gradients around the arch, unknowing what this would eventually turn into. I loved how it brought the eye in. I'm liking it. I think I am anyway. And I think what we're going to do is go in with a sponge with a lighter green and kind of create a moss look on it. So left it there for now and started working on the bed of the altar, turning it into one of my fairy patches. The last thing I filmed was a quick rearrange of the herb garden. I'm thinking more blue pots will bring more, but still keep the natural nature colours. This little lemon balm guy was found within the grass, so I had to repot him immediately. So that was it for this day. Or was it? Let's just say my ideas of the arch overtook me, just like all my projects do. So yesterday, I was looking at the shrine and I just kept staring at it and I was just like, it's not really giving what I had really imagined. And I just started playing around, making it darker, and then I added some spirals with the white, and then also I added this kind of like musical, twisted, sort of viney situation going on, which is classic me. I'm not gonna lie, every time I need to decorate something I decorate it like this. But it also reminds me of the illustrations in Tangled, the Disney film, which I absolutely adore. The illustrations in there, they're so like childlike and whimsical. So yeah, it turned out pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Also, of course, I need to finish the ivy at the top, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. And here's everything that I put on last night too. Well, obviously things are going to grow up, like the granny's bonnets and the ivy, but of course we've got the clover in there too. Little moments of enchantment going on here. The little baby house, so cute. And then this was a abandoned bird's nest that's dropped into our garden during the winter. So I thought, gosh, what a perfect place for it here, because folklore suggests that fairies like to find abandoned birds' nests and curl up with them and go to sleep. They have a very strong connection with animals of the woods. So let's get back to work, painting some ivy on the fence. As we do, let me tell you a little bit more about why fairies come into our realm. You see, fairies have a strong desire to protect the human realm, and they come here to work very closely with animals, but also to teach perilous or greedy humans lessons. A fairy such as a brownie fairy will move into your home if you leave them offerings such as milk and oats, and if the fae is happy with their offering, they will help clean, tidy and garden during the wee hours of the morning.
Okay, so let's hope that that's the last bit of ivy I have to paint within this garden. For now, I had some more mural ideas taking over. I wanted to turn this mirror first into a triple goddess. The spiral needed to have a little more work done to it, seeing as I'd painted it the day before in a manic frenzy. And this wreath would now become a sun. So I had a triple goddess sign with a mirror in the middle, a portal in the middle of a wreath, a sun wreath, all underneath, an archway guarded by mirrors. Let's hope some fae turn up now. Okay, so today I slept on it and decided to add gold to the mural to make everything pop a little more and add some more magic. Just like fairies are attracted to shiny things, metallic things, of course, count too. They hold high frequencies that fae use to enhance their magic.
Okay, so I've done finished painting with the mural and really happy how that progressed. Very, very happy how that progressed. I think the gold and yellowy sort of tones just like made it come to life a little bit more, and I just don't think I'm done with it. I'm going to add more and more. I mean, it's inevitable at this point. So now I'm going to work on my fairy garden, and I've got some mossy rocks and some clover and bits of bark. I'm just going to kind of create something that speaks to us. Okay, I'm going to put this down as like a protector between the shed. So, look at this bad boy. Oh my goodness. I love you. Love you, moss.
That looks good. Maybe these rocks need an arch in the middle. This one's too wide. This one's too flimsy. Oh my gosh, no. This is the one. This is the one! It's like a rainbow portal archway. Okay. Now, a little pool to go beneath this. And don't forget to add the miniature clover, of course. Maybe now some more mossy goodness and rocks. The fairy home has pride of place within the back, and now, of course, a little walkway.
This one is going to act like a post box. Yeah, push that in. Beautiful. Beautiful little post box. I knew this was going to come in handy. It is just that works so well. Perfect. Just going to put a few rocks in here and the hazelnuts so that the rocks and the insects can have somewhere to perch. Elder cones.
Now I just needed to add a few more final touches, and the fairy garden altar was finished. For now, anyway.
Hello! This morning I'm back on the island again and I'm having my brekkie here. It's the most glorious spring day. Oh my goodness, like perfection is what I would call this. We're gonna do this, eat this, and then we're gonna go back home and finish up a few jobs, but then also I'm gonna share with you the reveal of my fairy altar shrine garden. It's all three of them, I suppose. And I'm really looking forward to it. Every year I look forward to this one bluebell coming out because it's just like on its own. This year's got a little twin coming out, so I'm very careful not to step on that. I reckon next year, or maybe the year after. Bluebells take so long to come out. That's why they're so ancient. And of course, got this little guy here. Hey, any fairies decided to go in there yet? I'm not too sure, but they're going to end up at an amazing shrine on the other end in my garden. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. I just want to spend all my time here now. Even when I edit this video, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here editing my video on Fairies Island. I don't care. Time to go. Okay, we are here. Let me show you around. So here it is from afar. I love the different tones, all the different colours going on. They are not overwhelming, they're just elegant and tranquil. And of course I've got my Beltane wreath. A little bit broken there, but that's okay. It just shows character. Just got a bit of character there going on, you know. This is just the most elegant, and there's lovely dappled shade in here now, which I love, along with this silver birch. One of my neighbours, this fell from their tree, and they saw them put it in the wood, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go and get that. So I did. So I love the shininess. At night time you can see it highlighted. This is where the fairies can hang out. Hee 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 hee. Of course, this is where I'm going to do some little work, maybe some baking, fairy work, some communication, some meditating in here too. Of course, down here we've got the altar, got my spiral here, got my whittled wands, a grounding stone for some meditation, and also my pieces of silver birch bark, which I'm planning on writing little messages to the Fae on, and maybe just some symbols in charcoal ink. I've also got my hagstones here. This is one of them, got some moss in there. And also this one, which is a very unusual hagstone, but I call it a fairy nappy. Look, the fairies can get their legs through there and then put it on at the top. So this is my fairy nappy hagstone. I hope they enjoy that. And the herbs. Now, you might think, there's not much going on in here. I mean, there are herbs, but wild herbs. I have my lemon balm here, but some of them are pretty empty, and that's because I'm waiting for my bank account to be good, okay? I love how the altar is just next to this fairy garden. I'm so pleased with this and how whimsical it came out from just a few mossy rocks. And of course, it's going to be full of clover, and I've got a micro clover here, so I'm really hoping that that's just going to make everything light up and pop up. And of course, leading up to the fairy home there, which I put another little pool of water there too, just for any passing by little insects and bugs and fairies. But yeah, just love the little scenes that have been created on this.
course, the mushroom. Very happy with how that's turned out. I'm still sitting on this, and this is, you know, does me well, does me good here. I'm just going to keep that here. Quite comfortable actually on the floor there. And ta-da! I cannot believe I've created this, like a miniature Glastonbury in my house. I especially love the designs that I drew and how whimsical they've turned out to being kind of childlike. It kind of looks like I've drawn them with my fingers and I've just gone wild with it. And all these colours should hopefully work with every season too. So white, green and gold. I mean, yeah. Down here, again, it doesn't look as magical without the clover, but everything's settling in nicely. I love the bird's nest here. Oh my goodness, something so magical about that bird's nest. Then we've got these little fairies around here, little moments everywhere. That's what it is, guys. The moments. That's what makes this little place so magical. I found this 5 years ago and I want to create something in the middle, some sort of like Gandalf staff situation. So let me know what you think about that. Loving how these mirrors reflect the light. Absolutely magical and whimsical. But yeah, I can hang so much over here now. The possibilities are endless. Oh my gosh, look at that. Of course, the Bug Hotel is still going strong. Love it. Maybe I'll paint a few more bricks soon. Fairy tales. How to make a cloud. 101 facts about humans. I'm excited to use this ceramic sort of cauldron-y style dish for some letting go rituals or just kind of like mystical things, you know what I mean? The only thing I think that this place is missing is the trickling of water. It's water. It's this tranquil feeling to accompany everything else. And I've ordered just the thing. Okay, so I brought a new pump for my old fountain in hopes that it was going to get up and running and trickling again. However, great news. I bought the wrong one. Instead of fixing this, I did manage to come up with an idea on Saturday morning. It was only then I realised how beautiful the wind chime crystal was, as its light casted upon the fairy garden in the most beautiful way. Right, so this pot had no hole in it, and it's now going to become a fountain. And what an amazing idea. So thank you to all the enchanted ones who suggested it. I just need some pond plants and some more rocks at the bottom and it will be transformed. For now, I liked this outlet and it really does create that tranquil feeling I was after. But now, back to the past to wrap it up. So enchanted ones, thank you so much for joining me today in this fairy altar makeover. Happy Beltane to you all. I hope you have a wonderful time and I will see you very soon. All my love, Alwyn. Right, now it's on to the next project.